Hello. Thanks for joining me. This is a special birthday jam to tribute to George Harrison. Who's out there today? Well, thanks for joining me. You guys are kind of shy today. I appreciate you being here on this Sunday afternoon or evening where you're at. See, Tom knows the routine. Tom and Dave, of course, and David and Keith. Wow, look at this. Well, thanks, guys, for joining in today. We're going to celebrate George Harrison's birthday by going over a couple of his songs. Something, that is the song Something, and While My Guitar Gently Weeps, which I often kid around when I teach Django Reinhardt's Tears that George Harrison was influenced by Django and the song Tears for writing While My Guitar Gently Weeps. I'll talk about why I always say that and kid around, but it could be true. Who exactly knows where some of these influences come from? If you're just joining in, please grab the lead sheets. I put both a fake book chart and then my tabs and lead sheet. It's in the description. I'm going to load it up myself so I can look at it. And if you're not a member on Patreon, please consider joining. I have 4,567 posts. It's like collecting baseball cards or something. Like, I've got this many posts. Lots of good stuff on there, lots of educational stuff. That's Patreon is my community, and I know many of you are already on there, where we kind of learn and practice together. I post a lot of etudes and solo arrangements and stuff like that, and we talk. A lot of videos, a lot of process videos of me going through how I work and how I figure stuff out, which I'm going to kind of share with you today as we look at this special George Harrison. Click on that. You'll get my tabs. And Chris, welcome. Who wants to start? Who wants to choose? Help me choose. What song should we start with today? Something or While My Guitar Gently Weeps? We're going to just kind of analyze these and see how much we can get done. I've got a couple private lessons I need to attend to immediately after. So let's get started. Well, there we go. Tom says Something. Okay, so what I want you to do, if you haven't already done this, you can click on the link and you can look at either the lead sheet chart. That'll look like this from a fake book. Or you could click on my tabs. It's totally up to you. I'm going to kind of talk about how I interpret the lead sheet so that we can make music from it, okay? Because there's a lot of slash chords, a lot of interesting things. I actually might suggest that you start with the lead sheet first and then look at my tabs, okay? I kind of like that idea. So grab it in the description. I also put my tabs. We're in the key of C for Something. This is just going to be basically like a music theory lesson as applied to the guitar. We're in the key of C major, so it's important to know your diatonic chords in the key of C. Usually I'm showing like the jazz chords, but today it might be less jazzy. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G7, G major, A minor, B diminished, and back to C major. Those are your triads in the key of C. I always say, know the harmonized scale. I'll do that a little bit slower, and I'm just going to show you staying on one string, C major, the 1 chord, D minor, the 2 chord, E minor, the 3 chord, F major, the 4 chord, G major, the 5 chord, A minor, the 6 chord, the relative minor, B diminished, the 7, and back to C major. That's the C major scale harmonized with just triads, walking up, staying on one string. This is what's so special about George Harrison's songwriting, is that he would use quite a bit of borrowed chords in his chord progression. Jazz it up. There's a lot of really interesting things. Borrowed chords refers to borrowing them from other keys, most commonly the parallel minor key. Okay, that's pretty common, but there'll be some other keys that he's doing in here too. So if you think about what the key of, I should say parallel and relative. So if you think about key of C major, the parallel key would be C minor. Okay, I'll say that again. If you're in the key of C major, the parallel key of it would be C minor. C minor would be equivalent to E flat major. You guys with me? And that means you can grab chords from that key, E flat major, which again could be C minor. So think about that. We'll talk about that in a second. The other really common modulation scheme or ways you can transpose or borrow chords into your songwriting that George Harrison used, specifically in these two songs, Something While My Guitar Gently Weeps, is the parallel relative. So if you're in the key of C major, or we can go the opposite way, relative parallel. C major, the parallel key is C minor, right? If you go the relative, it's A minor. And if you go the parallel of A minor, that's A major. So then you have those chords that you can borrow from. Did I lose you guys? Are you cool with this? Don't worry, we'll talk about this. So he starts off with this really interesting intro. The melodies. So it starts on the 4 chord, F major. And again, we're just going to analyze this. F major is the 4 of C. B flat major is not in the key of C. That's that borrowed chord I was telling you about, the parallel key, C minor. G major is the 5 of C, and then it goes to C. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. The intro, I'll say that again. The intro to something. We have F major, that's the 4 chord. The melody's on the 3rd. E flat major is the borrowed flat 3 of C minor. Okay, G7 is the 5 of C, and then it goes to C. So that's where that is. And there's on the chart there, you can see it there, F, E flat, G7/D. If you want to get the bass note, you can do that. Not a big deal to me right now, that particular bass note. All I'm worried about is this. And now we're into the melody. And the melody's on the root of a C chord. We're in the key of C. And then he goes to the C major 7. Well, that's still in the key of C. That's just a nice little color, a jazzy color. And then it goes to C7. Now, this is where all of my jazz lessons that I do on these live streams with you, I often say this, and I know many of you already know what I'm going to say. When the 1 chord turns to dominant, I know some of you are going to type it in right away. When the 1 chord, this is a common songwriting trick, especially in the old school jazz standards, all those classic songs, the Great American Songbook. When the 1 chord turns to dominant, that's going to pull us where? Thank you, Keith. The 4 chord. So we're going to go to F. Okay. Yes, James. So we have C major, something, C major 7, C7. There's that dominant, and yes, it's going to go to the 4. I'm making it a major 7 just because I like major 7 and jazzy chords. You could just do major triad if you want. Totally up to you. You can do F6. You can do F add 9 if you want that nice sugary sweet flavor. I'm going to do F major 7. Walk down to the D7. There was a C/E chord that's in there. If you want to, you can just walk down, just put the E. The important chord is D7. Where's that D7 coming from? If we're in the key of C, this is called a secondary dominant. D7 is the 5 of the 5, G. Okay, so it's D7 to the G, or G7 if you want to. Okay, now I personally like to go to a G sharp dim to pull us to the next chord, A minor. A minor is the relative of C major. So far we have this C major, C major 7, C7. That's the 5 of the 4 to the 4. D7, the 5 of the 5, G7, the real 5, and then I put a passing chord in a little gospel style, G sharp dim 7 to the A minor. And I put an A minor 7 here. We can just keep it A minor triad. And here we want to now, on the A minor, the relative, we want to do this really popular cliche. Blue skies, or I mean, Stairway to Heaven, right? That's a cliche on the A minor. Don't want to leave her now. You know I believe in hell. And that's a D7 there. So we have A minor slash G sharp, A minor slash G, which is A minor 7. It could be C6 to the D7 or D triad, your choice. I like D7. Okay. So from that G7, we have this G sharp dim, and then the walk down, chromatic, and then D7, and then back to that little intro riff, F major, E flat major, G7, and then back to C, and that's our A section. Okay, you guys got it? Pretty complex, cool progression, very jazzy in a lot of ways, right? Feel free to comment in the description or the chat if you want. And don't forget to do this if you are enjoying these live streams. I appreciate it. I'm just going to do a little loop. Why not? 3, 4. C major 7. I'll just yell it out so you can play with me. We can jam on this. It's a birthday jam, C7. I'm just doing jazz shapes here, shell shapes. D7, the 5 of the 5. G7, welcome Yukon. D7, F, E flat, G. I'll just kind of paraphrase a melody. Tracks me like no. Up an octave. D7. A minor. Now we're just jamming, having fun. D7, G7. Little Django. So that's your A section. Super fun to jam on. You can play your modes or triads or pentatonics, all that fun stuff that we always talk about in our lessons. And a lot of outlining, chord changes. It's kind of jazzy. So I'm also kind of demonstrating using a loop pedal, practicing, really trying to master one section before we go on to the B section. I want to make sure as a teacher that you know that A section before we go to the B. Because if you can't play the chords and have that memorized, we need to just hang out there longer. C major, C major 7, C7. Now I'm busting out some gypsy jazz style arpeggios, which I don't want to do on this song, but you could if you want to. And I was kind of pretending like I'm superimposing some of these upper structures on that C major. I did C major on the C major 7, E minor on the C7, G minor 6 on the F major, F major stuff. So again, we can have a lot of fun applying all of the kind of jazzy style improvisation stuff that we talk about with scales, modes, arpeggios over this progression. Let's take it to the B section. I'll make a bonus process video lesson. There is one already on Patreon where I demonstrate some things. Hey Jeffrey, welcome. Thanks for joining. Let's take it to the B section. Again, check out on Patreon if you haven't already. If you're not a member on Patreon, please consider joining. Grab the lead sheets and tabs in the link in the description. That shows kind of my basic fingering of it that you can do. That being said, when you're using tabs, you're kind of stuck with one route for fingering. I always recommend learn a melody low, learn it high, even higher. You know what I mean? Learn it low. Guitar, we have basically 4 octaves that we can kind of play this melody in. I suggest that you really explore it. So that's one pitfall of using tabs, is that you kind of get stuck learning it one way. When you're just using standard notation, you can kind of be a little bit more creative. So, I'm just looking at this chart, and get the tabs in the description, get the chart in the description. I'm kind of talking about how to interpret these lead sheets, okay, and showing some of the chord voicings I would use. And I like to jazz things up a little bit. So the only difference now in that second ending when we want to go to the B section is we're going to modulate to get ready for this. We're going to modulate to the relative parallel major. So if we're in the key of C major, right, for that whole A section with all of those beautiful secondary dominants and even borrowed chords, even leading to a diminished chord if you want to do that G sharp dim, and the cliche, there's so much good stuff in this chord progression, just the A section alone. I mean, George Harrison really wrote a beautiful progression, beautiful song, and the lyrics are beautiful too. For that B section, we're going to modulate to the relative parallel key. So if we're in the key of C major, the relative is A minor, and then the parallel of A minor is A major. So we go to A major. If you're wondering, how do we go to A major? It's the relative parallel. So when we do this riff the second time, A major, and now we're in the key of A major for the B section. So just instead of going to C like you did before when you went like this, we want to go to A major. I'm just doing A triad. Or this. Whatever you please. Now the A section. Now the B section on the A chord. And I'm going to treat it, I like to play an A major 7 chord. So if you look at my lead sheet, the lyric is, "You asking me, will my love grow?" And I wrote the melody high. Then I don't. So A major, I'm going to do this bossa nova chord. I love this chord, A major 9. It's very pretty. Okay, A major 9. I'll show it to you again. Open, A, G sharp, C sharp, B, open, and E, open. This. Very, very beautiful chord. Only 2 fingers need to be pressed, and you have 3 open strings. You asking me, will my love grow? And then we want this walk down bass, C sharp minor 7 with G sharp in the bass. We want to walk that bass down. Sometimes I just do this, E/G sharp. There's no C sharp in there, but it's kind of in the melody, so it's great. So you do this. Down to the F sharp minor 7 and F sharp or F sharp minor triad, your choice, and then F minor/E. It's a lot of bass line movement, basically a walk down bass. This. So E, A, G sharp, F sharp, and E. Okay. A major 9. I like E/G sharp as a sub, which is C sharp minor essentially, without the C sharp as in the melody. F sharp minor 7. I'm wrapping my thumb around a la Jimi Hendrix. And then F sharp minor/E, which can also just be an A triad essentially. Okay, with the F sharp on top. 3, 4. And that's a D major. So by the way, we're in the key of A. Let's analyze this really quickly. The 1, the 3, the 6. D is the 4, the key of A major, right? And then 5. Oh no, it doesn't go there. It goes to G. Sorry, I had to think about this. Which is the back to the key of C. That's borrowed. So it's A minor, and then back to A. And then he does this cool riff. Chromatic with this cool 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. Okay. First time. Stick around. Show. And then the second time, that was all the same, but now we're on C major, and we do that same rhythm, but not chromatic. Instead, down the C major scale, and then back to your last A, which is like your first A. So it's kind of like a jazz song, AAPA song form. That was pretty cool. Let's do that again. I'm going to do these little bossa nova chords. D, G, chromatic. D, G, C major scale. Last A. hate it. It's a really cool progression. That's why this song needs some love. As far as sharing how cool this progression is, it's super fun to improvise on as well. As you can see, I don't even want to stop. It's just like you can explore, you can kind of get into modes, playing the changes. You can get jazzy, you get bluesy, and just nice pentatonic, sweet and soulful. It's really a beautiful progression. Um, so hopefully that all kind of made sense, just trying to explain the song. And then at the end, he starts at like the beginning, but he goes to A major, and a little fill there, and then finally C major. Very sweet song, very hip chord progression, and the lyric is beautiful. But again, it's a lot of parallel relative, a lot of borrowed secondary dominance. You can add two fives if you want. You can sub it out a lot. Okay, it's a sweet, sweet song. Um, I listen to that B section one more time there. I'm just gonna loop it. Why not? Then maybe I'll loop the last A out for fun. 3 B section, 4 and. Well, I hope I explained it for you guys. C major. Oh no, I didn't play the last A. I messed that up. Okay, that gives you an idea. Again, you use your loop pedal, have fun jamming, learn the melody. I was adding some sixes. I was adding some Hendrix, some Hendrix isms. Um, feel free to interpret it. Get bluesy if you want to. Okay, let's hit the next song. I hope that theoretical breakdown explains some things to you guys. It's a really beautiful song, and I hope I just helped to shed some light on it, etc. Well, While My Guitar Gently Weeps is equally as beautiful, and it's very similar in concept as far as the use of relatives and parallels and borroweds, and the use of bass line movement slash chords. So if you guys are enjoying this, don't forget to do that. That's what helps keep these videos coming out to you guys, the live streams. I appreciate it. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, we're in the key of A minor. Well, A minor is C major, but it's definitely a minor key song. And a big part of the characteristic of this song, especially the A section, is the bass line movement. And so when you say a song is in the key of A minor, that can be kind of open to interpretation. It's kind of ambiguous because it could be like the relative minor, like this, or it could be this, where you're doing a lot of different chords. It could be a lot of it. It could be modal, it could be Dorian, it could be Aeolian, it could be harmonic minor. Okay, so we want to talk about the different concepts that are possible for this. I'm going to use my fingers for this one. A minor. Again, I like these jazzy chords, so I might do A minor add 9. One of my favorite little chords to do here, just taking that A minor, taking the 8, and going up to the 9, and then refingering like this. Very moody. The guitar is weeping. You can even do this bossa nova chord, A minor 9. I like both of them. Sometimes it's hard to choose. I got my loop pedal on here. Let's just loop this and see what it sounds like with a little bossa nova feel. It's a nice rainy day, Sunday bossa nova style. Let's see. I'll do the add 9. So we have A minor add 9. Get that G in the bass. Is that sweet? So that's A minor 7, but we have the 9 in here because I like the 9. Now, this is very cool. A minor with the F sharp in the bass. But if you put the F sharp on the first string, it's this. It's A minor 6. So in the fake book, it might say A minor / F sharp, or it might even say F sharp minor 7 flat 5. It could be A minor 6 as well, just so you know. So we have A minor 7, A minor 6. Again, it varies from fake book to fake book, chart to chart. A minor / G, A minor / F sharp, A minor / F. Well, A minor / F for you jazzers, you know that's an F major 7 chord. So that's what you could be thinking for soloing. You can bust out your F major 7 lick on that chord. You can play the changes, or you can just kind of play more rock style where you're just thinking A minor stuff and A minor penta and blues. So that's the progression so far. Back to A minor, G, D the first time, E, etc. Loop this progression. It's super, super fun to jam on, especially if you love minor keys. I went to the C chord there, but on the loop I didn't do that. That's why it sounded kind of a little bit funny. A minor / G, A minor / F sharp, A minor / F. Okay, we can rename those. Don't forget A minor / G is basically C6, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, F major 7. Okay, so I'm hopefully by emphasizing that, hopefully I'm giving you some ideas for improv. I'm just kind of arpeggiating this movement within the progression. It's very subtle, but you can bring out that line. Etc. So the second time through that same progression, the only difference is it's a C chord instead of a D chord. And D chord, if I see a D chord along with A minor, I'm generally thinking Dorian. So I'm like we're in a key of G major. So with C, that probably will be the relative. It could be still Dorian, but it might be more the relative and not harmonic minor. We want to say the harmonic minor for the E7 or for the E. And then back to A minor. So there's a lot of little small subtle voice leading that we can hit with our soloing and of course with our chords. And that's the only difference. So let's just play that whole A section now. Again, if you haven't already grabbed it, please grab my tabs here. I put the melody low in this version, but I also put it up high and I harmonized it too just for fun. So here's the A section, bossa nova style. A minor, G, D, just do bar chords. And again, A minor / G / F sharp, F major 7, A minor, G, and C major to E. And loop. If you're enjoying these videos, don't forget to do this. Improvise. D to E. A minor. Triads. Penta. C major. E. Follow the voice. G. D. E. Blues. Really fun to solo on. But don't forget the melody. C. E. Singly play, make it lyrical. Do some tapping. No, I'm just joking about that. You can if you want. That's the A section. Super fun. Just like something. Really fun progression to jam on. You'll loop it, have fun. Stay on the A section until you master it. What I mean by that, I don't know. Where you feel like you really have it down really well, and that you can solo freely and don't want to stop. Then you know you've got it. That's a good thing. And you can do your blues licks, your blues rock licks, pentatonics, A minor, C major, or you can do the outlining like I was mentioning. I really like that a lot. A minor triad, A minor 7, A minor 6, which is F sharp minor 7 flat 5, F major 7, A minor, G, D to E the first time, if you want to outline. All right, B section. Ready for this? The melody goes, I don't know why nobody told you. Now it goes to the parallel major key, A major, from the A minor, parallel major. This is a song I always say when you watch my lessons for Tears by Django Reinhardt. I always say George Harrison was inspired by Django Reinhardt's Tears. George Harrison weeps, Django's Tears. Get it? Django's Tears, for you guys who don't know, starts in C minor. Has a bass line movement. Goes to the 4. And then it modulates for the B section, just like George Harrison's While My Guitar Gently Weeps, to the parallel major key. That's about the only relationship, but it's still very powerful. And the fact that there's tears and weeping involved, that's pretty powerful too. And the fact that George Harrison and Django were both amazing guitar players and very important. So, cheers to Django and George. If you do enjoy this lesson, please let me know. I need all the reinforcement. So let's take it to the bridge. The bridge, not James Brown style. We're now, and grab the tabs, you guys, in the PDF in the description. It's got the tabs, my arrangement for your educational purposes only, of course. These videos get archived on Patreon, so if you see it disappear from YouTube, you can always watch it on Patreon. Okay. Some of you ask, hey, that video on YouTube, that live stream, where the link doesn't work. And that's because it's been archived on Patreon. I'll occasionally put them out there again on YouTube, you know, but generally they get all get archived on Patreon and YouTube. There's a special membership. You can watch all my videos on YouTube. Tracy Kim YouTube member. So consider that too if you want to watch all of my old videos. And I'm uploading new videos every day to YouTube. So there's a separate YouTube member if you want that. But Patreon, you can get all of my PDFs and tabs, sound slice practice videos. That's what I recommend. So the B section now, we're going to modulate to the key of A major from A minor. Okay, parallel major. Tom has a question. Yes, parallel keys, very, very important. A parallel key means you stay on the same root note. So if we're in the key of A minor for that A section, as we just played through, it's going to modulate to the parallel key, which is now A major. That's equivalent to F sharp minor, but we have to kind of look at the progression and see, if it's A major, F sharp minor. This is A major. So we have an A major chord. Notice I'm using that same chord. I like that chord so much, A major 9. I don't know why. So A major, C sharp minor. Don't forget in the last song we did A minor, or A major, C sharp minor, right? It's very similar to something, in the B section. He was on to something. He knew it, I think. So we have C sharp minor 7, but no G sharp in the bass. If you want to, go ahead. I can't hear you, so I don't care. F sharp minor 7, back to C sharp minor 7. To the 2, B minor 7. Don't forget we're in the key of A major, so B minor is the 2 of A major. At this point, if I said the key of A major, I'm going to do this with you because I think it's very important for you to do this. If I said key of A major, you would do this. A major 7, B minor 7, C sharp minor 7, D major 7, E7, F sharp minor 7, G sharp minor 7, flat 5. And I think all of you who are watching here know my kind of routine that I talked about for chords. Be able to do that with both triads and seventh chords, okay? On 5th string or 6th string root combination, or do it on the 4th string root for that matter. That will help you understand and navigate through this. So we have A major. I don't know why. C sharp minor. 6, F sharp minor 7, C sharp minor 7. A little chromatic. You don't have to do that. B minor 7 and E7, the 5. And repeat. La bossa nova. E. We can just jam on that. 11s, suss it out. The Beatles use those chords in their middle eights. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I can't see what it says here. In a lot of that, their middle eights, the B sections. Melodies are really pretty for this song. That's the thing about George Harrison. He wrote really beautiful melodies too, not just chord progressions, but beautiful melodies. Even if he just kind of did the outline. You know what I'm saying? Let's loop that B section. Let's just loop the whole progression. So here's a B section again. If you guys want to do it, I'm showing you some jazzier chords too. A major 7, A major 9, C sharp minor 7, F sharp minor 7, C sharp minor 7. I like to do a little chromatic walk down. C minor 7, B minor 7, 2 bars. You could do bass, put D in the bass if you want to. E7. You could do a walk up bluesy kind of thing like this. Jazz it up, why not? Let's loop that. And maybe not, doesn't have to be that brisk of a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. E7. Sus if you want to. Ready? We're going to take it to the last A. A minor at 9. Get the bass. A minor. G. D. E. A minor. G. Bass. F sharp. Get the bass line. It's all about the bass. That's what Megan Trainor says. I looped it. Last A. D. E. A. C. Now it's going to go to the B. Let's just practice that loop. A little Django licks thrown in, why not? A minor. Blues. Pentatonics. Outlining D major. E. A minor. Triads. Blues. C major coming up here to E. Major. E7. Little 30. Penta. Back to minor. J, D. Keep track of the chords. That's kind of the jazzier approach, of course, to be able to listen to the progression and to know what chord you're on at all times. That way you can kind of outline those triads if you want. D, E, A minor, A minor 7, A minor 6, F major 7. And I say F major 7, the chord is A minor / F, but that helps again to kind of think like a jazzer to where you're thinking more seventh chords. Beautiful, beautiful songs. So, hey, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys on Patreon as usual. Check out, you'll probably see a little bonus lesson. I think I might even try to do a chord melody arrangement for these songs while it's George Day today. And thanks so much again. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Ciao.